We want to do some unpopular opinions?
Oh, God.
Sure.
Let's see. What you got, Chris?
Tea is gross.
Yeah, tea is gross.
Tea is disgusting. I have not found... I'm talking warm tea, sweet tea. I have not found any tea that I have enjoyed. I'm just not a tea connoisseur. I think it's gross.
I've grown to like tea as I've gotten older. I didn't used to like it, but I think now it helps if I'm like sick or if I have like a throat thing where I need to sing. It helps like coat like some teas like good for coating your throat.
Yeah.
So things like that. But yeah, I'm not gonna make it just because I'm craving tea. You know?
Yeah, no.
Yep.
That's what you got, huh?
If I need something like that, I'll put some lemon in some hot water or something. Like I'm just not gonna go the route of tea.
Some people like live and die by that shit, like sweet tea.
Oh, I know.
What I mean?
Well, that's the thing. I'm a bad Southerner. I'm from the backwoods of Kakalaki. Like,
Yeah, it's surprising.
Sweet tea is practically the national anthem of drinks. You know?
Backwoods of what?
It's the backwoods of Kakalaki. You know?
You never heard that before? That's how Southerners say Carolinas.
I ain't never heard that one.
Son, you got some learning to do.
You're from South Florida, though, right?
Yeah, I'm from West Palm.
West
so
Palm,
when I
yeah.
moved up here, it was the opposite. I thought going north, it'd get more north, but it actually got more south.
Gets more south, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got Anton hip on all kinds of sayings and pronunciations. And I mean, the first 5 years of our friendship would be, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah.
What are you looking at me like that for? I said that shit my whole life.
The closest thing we had in South Florida, is I'm from like Pembroke Pines, so the closest thing I had was Davie to like the south, or like you go out way west to the Everglades and you have like the swamp people, but like
The muck.
yeah, but we don't interact with them. That's a whole different breed of people out
Yeah.
there. So like Davie was the closest thing, and you had some of that southern stuff, like some of the older barn looking stores and like horses riding around, but like that was a small little pocket in this huge suburban spread of Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County, you know? So a lot of the shit, like a southern accent was rare to hear down south. I mean, you hardly ever heard one. Then coming up here, almost everyone has one, comparatively speaking. And then you have Chris saying shit like, "What were you like? Come up,
dude.
cloud?"
Yeah.
or like.
God, there's just too many of them.
What's a holler? A fucking holler?
Asking if somebody ate yet, G yet,
Yeah, G.
I'm
G
like,
yet.
I'm like what? Yeah, like all
Not
that
even yet, just
Yeah.
Jeet.
Yeah.
Jeet.
Yeah. Well, and something
dude.
I get called out for this all the time. Like when I'm just talking about my parents, I'll just be like, "Yeah, mom and dad," and everyone's like, "What do you mean, my mom and my dad?" I'm like, "No, mom and dad." You know, it's like I was talking to mom on the phone earlier, and they were just like, "People don't talk like that." I'm like, "The fuck they don't."
Yeah, it's just a different world, you know. And here in Jacksonville, there's the big Southern culture as well. It's predominantly Southern. Even though people here make the argument that it's not the South, I'm like, dude, I'm not from the South.
It's the South
This
Light.
is the South.
It's the South Light.
No, I don't know, bro. You're from like the backwoods South though.
That's the South.
Okay, but like there's also southern cities though, right? Like Atlanta is the South. It's a city
It's South
in the
Light.
South.
It's South Light.
Nah, dude.
I came
Atlanta's
from the
southern as
South.
fuck,
It's
bro.
the South Light.
TM.
Yeah.
Yeah. There it is. That's
See, I'll drink South Light, but not sweet tea. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean it's southern as shit, but like it's still city shit. Like I've told you this a million times. I moved to Jacksonville. I'm like, I moved to the big city. I'm
Yeah.
cultured now and this and that. And he moved here and he goes, "Oh, I've fucking downgraded my whole entire life."
That's how I felt.
let me say, I don't feel like I downgraded. I feel like
Right.
I got I was getting a more universally American experience.
Sure, there it is.
Yeah.
Right, because like down south, it's all these different cultures, right? And there's just like Southern culture is one that's kind of omitted. It's there, but it's not really there. Coming here, where it's like the dominant thing, like people hunt and fish here, and like there's like and they go and you know there's a whole ecosystem here around the Southern culture that's just not really a big thing down south. I don't know. So I certainly don't think it's a downgrade. Jesus Christ.
Well,
but I think it's just a different. It's more of what you think of a Southern experience, I think.
That was so poetic.
Well, I want to be clear about that because I like Jacksonville. It's not a downgrade. It's just a different experience, you know?
It's southern Georgia.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not northern Florida.
Exactly. The rest of fucking Florida too, bro. Orlando's southern as shit. And once you're outside of the main city, like downtown Orlando reminds me a lot of Fort Lauderdale. But like once you're outside of the city, you get into the suburbs. It's like, oh no, we're in the South.
You're back in the South real quick.
Tampa's the same shit. Tampa's got a big Cuban population, so we would drive through Tampa, and like the downtown area kind of looks like a much more tame version of Miami. So like, at least when you're driving the skyline, kind of. So we'd be driving there like on tour or whatever, and Sean would just be like, Tampa, it's like Miami light. It's like, yeah, dude. But even still, outside of downtown, it's fucking southern as shit, man. So I don't know. So yeah,
that's what I got.
So T sucks. Okay,
sucks.
all right. Miles, what you got for an unpopular opinion?
I've been trying to think this whole time.
Or you got fucking one in you? I know you do.
I'm ADHD, so it's like I blurt unpopular opinions out.
Okay, so if you want me to do one and then come back to you? Okay. Here's my unpopular opinion, and maybe it's not unpopular. I don't know. It's kind of like a new thing, but like Instagram threads can. What are we doing, guys?
It's Mark Zuckerberg's like personal diary at this point.
Bro, it makes no fucking sense. Okay, so you want to be Twitter, but you can't use hashtags, so nothing is searchable. So it would be like Facebook, but with a Twitter user interface. I don't know. It just it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I for like the first few weeks that I had it, I hopped on like day 3 or 4 of them announcing that it was a thing. And I started making posts. I was like, I'll get in on it early. I'll be active. I'll make posts. Nothing gets engagement on there for a lot of. Even I've seen like people with huge followings on Instagram and other platforms, and their engagement is like they're getting 4 or 5 likes on a Threads post, like no comments. I'm like, what are we doing here, guys? This is not going to beat Twitter. It's just not, especially if nothing is like there's no hashtags, nothing is searchable. You're not going to compete with Twitter on this front.
That's just what happens when you're given a gift you didn't ask for. They're just like
Twitter.
Yeah, X. Sorry, my bad. You're right. My bad. Jesus Christ. There's a fucking name that's just ingrained into the culture.
Oh, it's not good. It's still Twitter.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I don't care. Yeah.
Sorry, Musk. You're not getting rid of Twitter that easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't like Instagram threads. I've been trying with it, and it's just not like something I want to waste time doing.
I never got one just because like I didn't see the hype. I don't have a Twitter either. And like there was also just like you can't delete it. You have to delete your Instagram if you want to delete threads. And I'm like, that sounds stupid. Can't delete something I'm not going to use. Great. Not going to get it.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to exist on it, I guess, just in case. But I don't know. I don't like
right.
It's not like a fun, like I enjoy being on Instagram. Yeah. I enjoy being on TikTok. I hate being on Facebook. And that's what Instagram or Threads reminds me of. It reminds me of Facebook, but much more limited.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll play off of that. I fucking hate TikTok.
You hate TikTok?
It has nothing to do with political whatever. It's like ruining art.
Okay. Okay, so talk about that. What do you think about what do you think is ruining art? Or why?
It's like 10, 20 years ago, the internet wasn't such a fucking cesspool. Like it had its cesspools, but now if you want to truly find a dope artist that you connect with, how many fucking times did you have to swipe up? It's just like digging through a cesspool of shit tier memes, shitty content, influencers that fucking suck. And like I shouldn't have to dig through shit to find some gold.
Okay.
And like there's so much shit now that it's muddled the idea of what good is. Like I already said it earlier, I love shitty martial arts films.
Yeah.
But on the same token, some of my favorite memes or creators, they don't make good content at all. It's total fucking dumb shit.
Right.
And I can't stand that. my dumbass chose an art form that requires skill and freaking dedication, and you pump out this dope video for it to just get lost in the feed of like the bullshit that TikTok has created. My favorite era of Instagram was when there was videos, but before Reels.
Yeah.
I felt like there was some really good content being pushed out, but also a lot of really good artists were able to do their thing. But now I know some fine artists where they have less time to spend on their fine art and their paintings because they're busy fucking making sure their time lapse was good so that people actually see their shit.
Right.
And like, I guess it's cool, but I feel like it's gonna push to a level that starts fucking shit up. And now we're at the point where AI is like, not that it's gonna steal our jobs, they'll never be able to replace human interaction and emotion, but it's starting to rear its head in now. And that's because of this insatiable need for short content to just be fucking chugged like it's a beer, you know?
Yeah,
like,
totally. I don't totally disagree with that, but I think that every generation has a form of that. Okay, if you think about like going, like I listen to some of like the older heads in music talking about going to the record stores when they were younger and just sifting through records. And like a lot of it, man, I mean, people talk about music now being saturated. It was never not saturated, not to the point that it is now, obviously, but labels weren't investing in projects and putting out records at alarming rates back then too. And to find real gold, you had to sift through a lot of bullshit. And you actually had to get up, go to the store, and sit there and read through the credits to find out, oh, who's this producer, who played on this, who played on that, and then listen to the shit only to realize that you don't like it or it is actually shit, and then make mental notes of this producer, these artists that you don't want to fuck with anymore. So I don't know if it's, I mean, it's maybe exists at a faster rate now. Like there's more shit to keep track of at a quicker rate, but I don't know that it's a different dynamic. I think it's always going to be quick, like exponentially quicker than the previous generation. But then also I think that there is an art to having, you know, a minute or a minute and a half to craft something engaging with the art that you already created, right? So like taking down, like, you know, using clips, like a lot of stand-ups will clip out their specials and, you know, and put up, you know, the text, and then how can you make the captions engaging? Well, okay, we can do this, this, and this, and then we see that engagement's working, and then we're actually getting our comedy out there, and I think musicians are kind of doing the same thing, and I think you can definitely make it creative, and there are a lot of content creators out there that are making it creative. I think, you know,
it's definitely a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
but like with the record store example, like, that taught you to appreciate the good music, right?
Yeah.
But now I feel like it's moving so fast that you're just numb to what is good and what isn't.
Yeah.
And it's just like a like I said, a giant cesspool you have to dig through now.
That's true, because if you think about like I'll be scrolling oftentimes like through stuff, and then I might just scroll past something that's dope just because I'm on a loop right now, and I don't want to spend, if it's like, oh man, this looks really good, but I don't feel like watching a minute of, I just want to see a quick 15-second thing that's going to get me laughing real quick, you know, and I'll skip it. So maybe there is something to that where like I'm almost craving like shitty content because I don't have the bandwidth to deal with good content because I've been consuming so much shit for the last, you know, 20 minutes of my life.
I would just like to see these rich fucks stop trying to have a fake MMA fight.
Yeah.
And make a platform that like is there for artists. Because like even bands don't release full albums. Like what I love, metal, some of the biggest metal bands that I like, they ain't doing albums. They know shit moves so quick that they come out with one song.
Yeah.
Super produced with a dope music video and special merch just for that, like every 3 months.
Right.
Or like twice a year.
Right.
And they get more views and engagement off doing that than they would have spent doing a whole album and going through the same old motions.
Yeah, Spotify and the streaming platforms work in the same capacity that the social media platforms work. It's a little different, but the idea is the same. And there's an algorithm, and the more you're taking advantage of the platform by putting music out, the more engagement it gets on their platform, and then you're just going to get more visibility by that happening. So if you're producing an album, you know, like traditionally you have like your 18-month album cycles. Well, the machine wants more than that now. So maybe don't do a whole album. Maybe do like a single every 6 months or every 3 months or something. And it's easier to backlog because now you can do an album's worth of work, but don't blow your load. Right? Just backlog it and set and put out, a song every 2 months for, a year. And then in that process, you can be working on the next thing. So the next year, you're geared up to have the next thing ready.
Yeah.
We live in an age of trolls now, which is another big problem because like all the content curating is kind of supporting that, right? So we see even podcasts now where they're purposely having these like shallow conversations about like beef or like whatever, and you're just like. It's just a fan of flame to get people interested in the gossip, right? There's nothing to it other than just, well, we don't like each other. And now we're going to put on these bullshit fights with these bullshit promotions. And we're going to all these quick money grabs. And then you have podcasts that talk about those things. And then it's like, we're just fueling more troll culture is all it is. And, I'm not going to get like too political on here, but you can thank, the fucking... We had a troll president. I'm just saying it sets the fucking standard, dude. And culture follows. It just does. It's just happening across the board. Because again, I watch what's on TikTok and I try and not watch it too much as far as like the bullshit, like bantering stuff that's like not even like there's no substance to it, but it pops up a lot. And I'm watching, I'm like, dude, this isn't a real conversation. This is them trying to like fan the flames of some bullshit just to get attention. And that's the era that we live in right now. And that's toxic. We're not talking about substantive art here or like thoughtful engagement. We're talking about just any engagement, the lowest common denominator. It's why Jason Aldean did that fucking tune. It's zero to do with communicating a way to collaborate or to be together on something. It's only to draw a wedge so that you can get this side to spend all of their money and resources on you rather than a little bit from everybody, right? And it's just it's toxic to where we're at today.
Yeah, I think people like to do the Conor McGregor mentality when it comes to marketing. Because I truly believe when the cameras turn off and that guy ain't in front of a camera, he's a normal ass Irish dude.
Yeah, of course, of course.
But like at somewhere, Dana White was like, "Hey, you gotta do that," or whoever, or maybe in his own mind, he was like, "This is working." Like some people just want to play the villain. I play the villain, just not in real life shit. I'm a villain in video games. So. Yeah. Like I literally have a group called Toxic as Fuck Call of Duty, and like we don't do anything but make videos of making people rage. Like there's this one mode I play and there's an out of bounds thing. So I'll get people to join my team and we call it taking people out for pizza. So we're all in the car, we're driving, I'm like, oh, there's enemies over here, we gotta go over there. I get real close to the border and then I just hang a hard right and we all jump out of the car and they're too far in the thing and you'll die instantly. And I'm like, ah.
Oh my God.
And like, we're one of the biggest Call of Duty groups. Like we don't have 20,000 members on Facebook, but like with our measly 3,000 member count, all the Call of Duty groups have something to say about us because we're doing that bad press is good press.
Right.
And like, I'm not claiming we're all dope at the game. I'm claiming we're toxic. So when someone finally kills us, they'll take a screen of their picture and then post it to all the groups and be like, haha, I killed a toxic fuck guy. And it's like, perfect, guys. We're doing it right.